Today we're going to start playing with some peptides, so who's ready for that?
Sorry, I don't know how to help with that. Here are other things you can try.
So starting out here in this spray bottle, 32 ounces, and that is just plain water, just to use to make the soil moist in those little planting pots. This here is also 32 ounces of water. We'll get to that here in a minute. Here I have some labware, a trusty syringe. These are actually really handy for any like detailed herbicide applications, things like that. Very useful tool to have. And then a graduated cylinder, I think that's what they're called, I should know. And then the peptides. Now I made a note on my phone, like a voice memo, after I had these delivered to remember exactly what each one was, but I didn't hit save. I figured it would do it automatically since I launched it from a widget. It didn't. What I do know though is these peptides here are spiked with some synthetic fertilizers, and I can't remember the NPK. It's either a 10-0-10. I know the brown stuff that separates really easy is a 10-0-10, but that's organic. I sprayed some of that in the backyard to see how it did with snow mold, which I never talked about because yeah, it's been that busy and we hadn't had snow up until today. So how'd I get snow mold? But we'll maybe talk about that later. But I know this is synthetic, but I'm not exactly sure the NPK. The amount we're going to use is going to be so little that it won't matter a whole lot. Then I have, these guys here are gonna label what has peptides and what doesn't. So let's set them over there. Okay, let's make a little bit of room real quick. Move these guys out of the way so we can talk about how much of these peptides are actually going to get applied. Now, if you've watched my last video with my experimental lawn care where I was applying peptides, different from these, it wasn't these, via my Ortho hose end sprayer, I stressed that that's not the best way to do it, not really recommended. It worked okay, but not the way you're supposed to do it. And these are very easy to over apply, so that's why I have this and all this stuff, is so I can get the right measurement and get everything down, because if things go a little on the hot side, it just gets weird. Okay, so it's time for some, actually no math. There's not going to be math. There will be numbers, but no math. Last time I was in this room doing a video, we were doing sprayer calibrations and how to size all that. So not nearly as complicated as that. This is just to give everyone an overview of how much I'm applying. So to get started, let's use blue for the water. So we have H2O. That's this guy. So we have 32 fluid ounces. Next we have our peptides. So for peptides, we're going red. The peptides are going to be, let's label them. We are going to put 5 milliliters of peptides into 32 ounces of water. So 5 into that. Not a whole lot. I have about 32 ounces here. Got this guy. Got that. Slowly open it. Yeah. I don't know if y'all could hear that, but holy cow. Oh, it's like opening a carbonated beverage. So we have this guy here. The markings are slowly wearing away, but that's okay. Got a whole ton of it in there. So 5 milliliters. Actually, I'm not going to use that guy. Oops, got a little peptide splash. But there we go. That's it. Now, let's shake things up. You can see it working with the foam. Have both of these open. Have a total of 72 little planting pods or whatever they're called here. Now, for my petunias, I'm going to need, the package says 3 plants per 12-inch pot. However, I'm doing 4, so we're going to take these 16, and these are going to be my petunias. This whole flat here is going to be marigolds, along with a good portion, probably at least 8 of these are also going to be marigolds. Then the morning glories, they'll take up the rest. You'll see where I'm putting those later on this summer. I think I'm going to like it. You'll probably like it too. We're getting fancy. So now we just have to get these seeds in here. We have the 2 trays open. I have a total of 72 little planting pot things, or whatever you want to call them. These 16 here are going to be for the petunias. This entire front tray is going to be dedicated solely to the marigolds, along with probably these 12 as well. The morning glories, which, wow, I have a lot of seeds of. I don't know, we may do more morning glories and I'll just plant them everywhere. We're gonna moisten things up a little bit before we start separating the seeds. This soil, I guess if you want to call it soil, it is primarily peat moss, it looks like. Looks like there's a little bit of perlite or the vermiculite or whatever that stuff's called in here as well. I went with these solely to have a uniform like soil structure, consistency, because the petunias are all getting peptides. The morning glories, half are going to get peptides, and then half of the marigolds are doing peptides. That way, I know the soil's the same, the seeds are the same, they're coming from the same pouches, bought at the same time, all with similar stamps of when they were made. So all of that is consistent. The only thing that will be different is what has peptides and what doesn't. Now, as these get older and grow more, peptide plants will still get peptides, but as far as additional fertilization from anything extra that wasn't in the peptide mix, which again, I don't remember what it was, but it's not really a whole lot when you consider 5 milliliters went into this. That's going to be even across everything. So the only difference in the end will be the marigolds without peptides and the marigolds with peptides. So we'll see, one, how they develop from a visual standpoint while they're growing in the trays, and then when it comes time to plant them, we'll see what the root structure looks like on the peptide plants versus the non-peptide plants, because the peptides, these are, CRRP technology, and they're designed for root hair growth and root development. So we're going to check it out and we're going to see how they compare. So let's start misting this away, and then we'll start separating these seeds out and talk about how much peptide now of this goes into this. Ooh. We're going to start with the petunias, and yeah, this is all peat, so it's slow to absorb the water, but that's okay. We're just going to mix it in. Okay, now these petunia seeds are tiny. And this is just one little pack here. Okay, so each one of these has, well, 4 to 6 seeds. So I'll probably have to thin them out, getting them lightly under the surface. Now onto the marigolds, and we will save one of these just for future reference, but I'll probably throw it away on accident. Now I only have 2 packs of marigold seeds. So I've never opened one. I don't know how far they're going to get me, so we're going to find out. And I've actually never seen these before. Totally not what I was expecting. So we're going to start with this whole tray. Again, save one of these. Now the morning glories. Doesn't say, so. Seeds for these guys. And so we're going to end up with 12. Okay, now I'm just going to spritz over everything again, and then we're going to talk about this and how much we're going to use. Okay, so these guys are all labeled here. This front little section here of 2 rows of 9, so 18 plants, those are marigolds, no peptides. These next 2 rows, so those 18 are marigolds with peptides. Then this entire tray, this 16 up here, those are my petunias with the peptides. These 8 here are more marigolds with peptides. And then these 12 are my morning glories, of course, again, with peptides. So we know that in this here is 32 ounces of water, and I added 5 milliliters of the peptide solution that has a little bit of fertilizer. How much am I going to now apply to all this? Well, not a lot. We're applying 5 milliliters, and that'll be per each one of these. So we have 36 plus another 18. So we're looking at 54 out of my 72 little pots are getting the peptides at 5 milliliters apiece. Sorry, I lied. There's math. So we have 54 times 5. And I apologize. I've just been working with my son so much with math and all that fun stuff. So I enjoy doing this now. And this is a refresher for those of you that are, have children getting ready for multiplication and you can't remember how. So bam. So we need 270 milliliters total of peptide solution to go across all of those. Now this guy here only goes to 150, so we'll fill it up a couple times. So I'm going to do 150 milliliters there. And now we're going to break out this guy here, and he holds 25. So there we go. Let's do this carefully. Okay, so that's it. A little bit left over. So that's it, really. We're done. Took my 72 little pots, divvied up some marigolds, petunias, and morning glories, peptided a portion of the marigolds and all of the petunias and morning glories, and we're gonna see what happens. Now I'll be, of course, giving video updates, but I want to document this. Well, I say a little bit more thoroughly. Not going to be that thorough, but I am going to actually start making updates with this on my website, so you'll be able to kind of see how things are going. I'm going to take daily pictures once it starts. Actually, we get some seed germination to figure out, to see how everything's growing. I also picked up an outdoor greenhouse that is needing to be put together. It's just one of those little small $25 deals. I have some heat mats I need to pull out of the shed. I have a grow light that's currently in the back guest bedroom for the palm tree and the orange tree, which orange tree is not doing too well. But yeah, first time growing one. I need to read more. So these guys are going to be moved to the garage probably, since I don't have a lot of space inside, but I'll put them under the heat mat. I'll just like split it in the middle, or we'll figure it out, or mainly concentrate on the marigold tray. And we'll just see how it goes. I'm seeing the results it's done on my lawn. fantastic results on the lawn. Now we'll see what it does with flowers. And I can't wait for the results. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you all for watching this. If you have any questions, you can drop them below. I'm not being very specific with the peptides on what exactly is in them right now, but that will of course come in the future. I'll try to figure out what the actual NPK number was for what I put down, so you all can have that information too. Don't forget, check out reallowdad.com, where not right now, but here in the next week or so, I will have an update on these guys. I'll probably also have some Instagram on that, and of course, you know, all the good old trusty YouTubes. So hey, this is Mike, Real Low Dad. Thank you all. Have a good one. We will see you again soon.